Hello everyone and welcome back to another F1 23 game ideas video. Today I'm going to be discussing 6 things that must be changed for multiplayer for F1 23. If you haven't missed any of the series so far, then I'll try and remember to leave an I thing in the top right hand corner so you can go and check that out in regards to career mode as well. If you have any ideas as well, then let me know in the comments below. First up is replacing the quick join options. This is a must because one of the big problems I have with multiplayer is the fact it takes forever to join the first race. Like, you can spend half an hour and still not enter a race that suits you as well. Trying to find the lobby is so hard because you've got those two options, the beginner friendly or, as Into the Barrier one's called them, Casper friendly lobbies, because there's ghosting everywhere. And then they've got those experience, wherever they are, lobbies where it's 25% hardcore mode and there's nothing really in between. Now what we really want is to be able to set up your own custom preset. So let's say, because we've already got the filters which are a good addition to multiplayer, but now we want to be able to say, right, I'm going to set these filters up. I want to be able to save that as a custom preset, and then I want to search the lobbies based on that saved presets, or maybe have a couple or two, maybe have 1 or 2 or 3, or how many you want, just so that then, you know, the player is not spending half an hour of their time just trying to join the lobby, because that, you know, doesn't really inspire confidence in the player to be able to stick around, and might get bored and, you know, say, I'm not spending half an hour trying to join a lobby, I'm going to go and play something else, for example, as well. I do think also they need to provide clarity on the assist restrictions for players, because it does get a little bit unclear on what they mean between high and low, or all, etc. I think they need to rephrase those, personally speaking, maybe to restrictions, or then maybe go into details about which assists the particular lobby has turned off, for example, because you can turn off any particular assist you want. Maybe that will suit the player and suit some players more than others, depending on which assists have been turned off there. Number 2, stability. And this is something else. Building on, of course, what I was saying about getting people into lobbies quickly, the time between lobbies can also be excruciatingly long. Like, it's come to a point when it's getting pretty unacceptable. And obviously we want stability for people so that, you know, there's no lag or anything like that. What we need from a Codemasters point of view is that there's that same build, for example, between the esports version of the game and everyone else's version of the game, and that way you don't end up with leagues like PGSL having to cancel their opening seasons because of esports players not wanting to spend time playing the build of the game that we can play, because obviously they want to practice on the build that the esports players get, the esports build, which is different to what we have. As far as I understand it, but that is where, you know, we don't want our leagues to be left out and about. And the league function, I don't know how many leagues actually use it properly as well, but if you are a league owner and you do use or do not use the league functions, then let me know in the comments below. Number 3, ranked. Pretty much pointless it has become, because everyone wants to play crossplay as well, which is only available in social lobbies. So ranked is actually got one of the best at the moment, one of the best tools for joining a lobby quickly as well, randomly placing you in a lobby to match your assists and your skills, which again could be would be welcome on the social side of thing. But basically, they need to. I think they need to make ranked crossplay as well, and basically they need to improve ranked as well. Maybe link to the podium pass with more benefits from playing ranked compared to social play, as well as because obviously if you're only a casual player of ranked, it goes down after you've not been playing ranked at all, so it pretty much just resets. So maybe having that benefit will draw a few more players towards the ranked side of things. But if they're not going to improve it, then it's just a waste of space, and they might as well just remove it and instead focusing on implementing better quick join options for social play, rather than just keeping ranked, which basically maybe fills as its current capacity 5 people in a particular lobby. Number 4 is quite a big one for multiplayer, and would be, it's one that isn't actually, apart from the other 3 have been things that must be changed. This is something that needs to be added because Codemasters, the online game, is falling behind compared to stuff like Forza Horizon 5, for example. And I'm talking about party games, like Tag, Capture the Flag, etc., etc., because they are, they are good for capturing casual players. They're very good at capturing casual players, and it's something different than just racing cars. That's why I know they've introduced supercars, but this would be something different, and I think it would actually be popular because you'd get it's a quiet way for influencers to interact, those big ones that is, to interact with their player base without having to race them. Hide and seek is another one. I know Ara's been doing a few of those, not this year, but in the past he's done them. Having that actually implemented into the game mode, as opposed into the game, as opposed to just Ara setting up a lobby on with his Twitch chat, would actually be beneficial to the game, and I reckon it would drive people, not only because it would, I'm hoping, and I'm saying hoping, that would have that knock-on effect. Because career mode viewership on YouTube has been dreadful this year, as well, because mostly because of how dreadful the game was, and B, the emergence of F1 Manager. This, having the party mode, could be the way that draws you back to the game as well. And remember, you've got to account for that hefty price tag as well, because you've got a manager game that is cheaper than you, and you've got to justify, okay, apart from obviously being able to race the cars, you've got to be able to justify to your player base, this is what you're going to be getting. We made sure the game is stable, which is a crucial thing. We've also added a whole ton of new features. That is the way to get the player base back on the levels where it was with F1 2020 and F1 2021, and not where it is on F1 22. Number 5 is pretty much a next generation idea. It's increasing the car lobby size to 30. Now, there's obviously a reason why I've said 30, because 30 is the maximum number of cars that Formula 3 has at this moment in time, as well. So should they ever choose to add Formula 3, then at least they can have the grid size for it. But adding more adding more berths available to the player car lobbies does mean that it means that it entices people to actually use the player car, because what I see every time I join a lobby is everybody uses the F122 cars and not the player car, so the livery is never. And even in ranked, I did have a ranked lobby where where it was actually the ranked lobby was using the F122 car as well, So having those expanded lobbies again will also try and get the player base moving, and it's obviously, hopefully, it's just about making sure there are enough spots on the grid for everyone to be fit in, and obviously enough garages. Probably have to limit the circuits though, because obviously not every circuit will have that availability though. That's where they need to look at it and see it more permanent circuits compared to street circuits. And the final thing is about F1 esports communication. This obviously has come a little bit after people have been moaning, especially Alex Gillen on Twitter, about the severe lack of communication. I feel that F1 esports needs to change its social media accounts, because it's currently just using the F1 account, and I don't mind them using the F1 account, but the thing is, where you've got things like penalties and everything, the F1 account doesn't tweet that, because at the end of the day they are not there just solely there to cover F1 esports. F1 esports are there to cover a gap during the week, when F1 isn't on, as well. That's when it's generally been on so far. I will say that they probably need their own social media account, and then obviously have promotion like they do with a similar thing for F2 and F3 on F1's social media accounts as well. But as I say, I'm not actually able to account for this personally and what really needs to be changed. I'm just going what I've read on Twitter, because I don't actually follow F1 esports personally, because I don't particularly it's on in a weekday. I'm busy editing content basically when it's on, basically, as well. But yes, so that's, to communicate on penalties, race classifications, the grid order. It's pretty much what the job that F1 social media account does for its F1 races, as well, as opposed to just having a picture on the F1 social media account and that's it. As well, I'm sure there's going to be, as I say, there are more qualified people to speak on this as well. Please do feel free to have a discussion in the comments below about F1 esports as well. Well, that's where I'm going to leave it, today's F1 23 game ideas video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've got any ideas as well, then please do let me know in the comments below. I'm preparing all the ones so far for the final episode, which is in a couple of weeks time, I think. Maybe 3 to 4 weeks time. I don't actually know, depending on what else I've got on the list as well. So yes, until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.